Have you ever walked into a room, stated your intention to do something big, and then felt the energy for it immediately evaporate? Or have you ever shared a secret, thinking it would bring you closer to someone, only to feel exposed and weaker afterward? We live in an age that demands noise. We are told to speak our truth, to broadcast our every move, and to turn our private lives into public content. But what if this constant output is actually the leak in your hull that is sinking your ship? What if the true mark of power isn't what you say, but what you have the discipline to keep inside? Welcome back to INVICTUS X. Today, we are going to walk through a door that few dare to open, the door to the fortress of your own mind. We are exploring 4 specific things that the ancient Stoics believed you must never reveal if you want to retain your strength. This isn't just about being secretive, it's about tactical silence. It's about understanding that your energy is a finite resource, and every time you open your mouth to the wrong audience, you are bleeding power. By the end of this video, you will understand why silence is not empty, it is full of answers.
1. Your deepest goals. The biological trap of announcement. The first thing you must protect is your ambition. This goes against almost everything modern self-help gurus tell you. They say, tell everyone your goals so they can hold you accountable. But the Stoics, and now modern neuroscience, disagree. When you speak your dreams too early, you are not just sharing information, you are hacking your own biology in a dangerous way. The Stoics warned that the fire of intention burns brightest in silence. When you tell a friend, "I'm going to start a business," or "I'm going to run a marathon," and they respond with, "Wow, that's amazing, you're so disciplined," your brain releases a flood of dopamine. This is the reward chemical. Your brain feels the satisfaction of the achievement before you have done a single minute of work. This is often called social reality. Your mind mistakes the social acknowledgement for the actual reality of the task. Once you have that dopamine hit, the hunger to actually do the hard, grinding work in the dark fades away. You have already eaten the dessert. Why eat the vegetables? Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, put this clearly. First, say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Notice the order. Say it to yourself, not to the crowd. Imagine you are building a steam engine. If you open all the valves before the pressure builds, the steam escapes harmlessly into the air, and the engine never moves. But if you keep the valves closed, the pressure builds, the heat intensifies, and eventually, that contained energy is what moves the train. Your silence is the valve. Keep your goals like embers hidden under ash, quiet, hot, and ready to ignite when the fuel is added. 2. Your struggles and weaknesses. The difference between healing and rehearsing. The second thing to keep under guard is the intricate detail of your suffering. This is a nuanced point. The Stoics were not robots. They did not deny pain, but they understood that there is a difference between processing pain and performing it. In our current culture, there is a currency to victimhood. We are often encouraged to wear our trauma on our sleeves as a badge of honor. While it is vital to have a support system, a therapist, a mentor, a close partner, broadcasting your struggles to the world often does more harm than good. Think of a wound on your arm. Every time you talk about it to a stranger or an acquaintance who cannot help you, it is like scratching the scab off. You are reopening the injury, exposing it to the bacteria of public opinion, and resetting the healing process. When you constantly narrate your struggles, you begin to identify with them. You solidify the story of, "I am a person who suffers from X." The Stoics believed in transforming suffering into discipline, not into a story to be told at parties. There is a concept in psychology called co-rumination, where discussing problems excessively without finding solutions actually increases anxiety and depression. It's a loop. You talk about the pain, you feel the pain, you talk more. The Stoics advise us to break this loop. As Epictetus wisely noted regarding the discipline of speech, keep silence for the most part and speak only when you must, and then briefly. This applies doubly to our complaints. Bring your wounds to those who have the medicine to heal them, not to the crowd that only wants to stare at the blood.
3. Your personal life, the sanctuary versus the spectacle. The third realm to protect is your personal life, specifically the intimate details of your relationships, your family matters, and your private household. We live in the era of the relationship status. We feel a compulsion to curate our love lives for an audience. But ask yourself, when you post that photo or share that story about an argument, are you looking for connection or are you looking for validation? The Stoics valued the inner citadel. They understood that some things lose their value the moment they are exposed to the air. Intimacy, by definition, requires privacy. When you invite the public into your relationship, you are inviting thousands of judges into your bedroom. You are asking them to vote on your decisions. Suddenly, you aren't living your life, you are performing a reality show of your life. The feedback loop of likes, comments, and opinions begins to steer your actual behavior. You might find yourself staying in a relationship because it looks good online, or leaving one because friends who don't know the full story told you to. Seneca advised us to withdraw into yourself as far as you can. This is not about isolation, it is about sovereignty. It is about remembering that the sanctity of your home is built on the trust that what happens inside these walls stays inside these walls. Think of your personal life as a root system. Roots need the dark to grow deep and strong. If you pull them up to show everyone how well they are growing, the sunlight will scorch them and the tree will topple. Keep your roots in the dark so your branches can reach the light. 4. Your good deeds, the death of virtue. Finally, and perhaps most controversially in our influencer altruism culture, never share your good deeds. If you scroll through social media, you will see endless videos of people giving money to the homeless, filming the act, and zooming in on the recipient's tears. While the money helps, the Stoics would argue that the virtue of the giver has been corrupted. When you film your kindness, it ceases to be kindness. It becomes a transaction. You are trading a few dollars or hours of effort for social clout, for reputation, for the ego boost of being called a good person. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you have done a good act, why do you look for a third thing besides these, like the reputation of having done it?" True character is what you do when no one is watching. It is the ability to do the right thing simply because it is the right thing, without needing a receipt or a round of applause. This is difficult. Our egos crave the pat on the back. We want to be recognized. But try this experiment. Do one act of kindness this week that is completely anonymous. Pay for the coffee of the person behind you and leave before they know it. Donate to a charity without putting your name on the donor wall. Clean up a mess you didn't make. You will feel a strange sensation. At first, you might feel a pang of disappointment that no one knows, but sit with it. That feeling will transform into a deep, solid sense of self-respect. You will know, essentially, that you are good, not because others say so, but because the evidence is locked away in your own heart. Mother Teresa, a figure who understood the weight of action over words, once said, "Be faithful in small things, because it is in them that your strength lies." These small, secret acts are the gym where your character muscle is built. So, where do we go from here? Imagine your mind is a walled garden. In this garden, you are growing the most delicate and powerful plants. Your ambitions, your healing, your love, and your virtue. If you leave the gate wide open, the public will trample your flower beds. The weeds of other people's opinions will choke your growth. The wind of distraction will scatter your seeds. But if you have the discipline to close the gate, to stand guard at the entrance of your own soul, you create a sanctuary. In that silence, your roots go deep. Your goals gather the pressure needed to launch. Your wounds heal without scarring. Your relationships become sacred bonds, and your character becomes ironclad. Privacy is not about hiding who you are. It is about protecting who you are becoming. This week, I want to challenge you. Pick one of these 4 areas. Maybe it's a goal you've been dying to announce, or a frustration you want to vent. Don't hold it. Transform that energy into action. If this message resonated with you and you want to join a community of people who are mastering the art of the inner life, make sure you are subscribed to INVICTUS X. We are building a brotherhood of focus in a world of distraction. I want to hear from you in the comments, but only what you are willing to share. Tell me, which of these 4 is the hardest for you to keep silent? Let's discuss the struggle of discipline, not the secrets themselves. Remember, the world listens to noise, but it bows to power. Be the silent power.